Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back. I am AdamMcKola. Hope you guys are all doing well. And we have some latest Manchester United news. Not about Frankie de Jong, not about Christian Eriksen. Unfortunately, we have to wait on that. But we are hearing news about a potential departure from Manchester United. And we'll get stuck into that shortly. Before we do, though, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Get subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Hit that like button, get your comments in the comments below as well on everything that we discussed today, including the possible departure and two players who could be given an opportunity to prove their worth to Erik ten Hag in the pre-season this summer. Let's get stuck into the story though. The first one is about Dean Henderson possibly joining Nottingham Forest on a loan to buy deal. Now, Ollie Allen from Daily Mail is reporting, understand Nottingham Forest have agreed personal terms with Dean Henderson ahead of a loan to buy deal. Forest have acted quickly after Bryce Samba made it clear he wants to join Lens. PL loan rules mean James Garner will now be unable to sign on loan again. So the rules are you can't loan two players from the same club in the same transfer window or registered in your squad at the same time. And if Nottingham Forest wanted to keep James Garner, they couldn't if they were to take Dean Henderson on a loan to buy deal. And then we hear from The Guardian as well that Nottingham Forest want Manchester United's Dean Henderson on loan. And Fabrizio Romano has also been reporting on this too today, saying Nottingham Forest have opened talks with Manchester United to sign Dean Henderson on loan with an option to buy around £20 million. Negotiations ongoing. Forest want Henderson and now it's a possibility also considered by the players. Talks on. The Daily Mail obviously going a little bit further than saying it's a possibility for the player, saying that he's agreed personal terms with the club. So that has a knock-on effect possibly for James Garner, which we'll discuss a little bit later on in this video. But Dean Henderson to Nottingham Forest is an interesting one. Now, a lot of people maybe expected a few more prestigious. Forest have actually won 2 Champions Leagues in their time. A lot of clubs in the Premier League haven't done that. But clubs that were more higher up the Premier League, you know, he was linked with Chelsea in the past. He was linked, I think, with Spurs as well at one point. He's been linked with a few teams that are in and around the Champions League and European spots. Now, at Manchester United, he hasn't really had an opportunity. You know, since he left Sheffield United, where he was incredible on loan, he's come back to Manchester United and he hasn't really been given an opportunity, due in part to the form of David de Gea. But even when there were times when David de Gea was having a little bit of a wobble, Dean Henderson wasn't really given the opportunity either. Now, he's a highly rated goalkeeper. I've never been one to say he should be Manchester United's #1 now. I've always been a little bit sceptical because, look, it looks like he's got an error in him at times. We know David de Gea does too. But it looks like he had a bit of an error in him at times. And I wasn't quite sure whether his form at Sheffield United would transfer to Old Trafford. It's a completely different stage, completely different pressures and all that. And then you also hear possibilities of him being a leak and all those kind of things. And you think, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It doesn't leave a great taste in the mouth. So Dean Henderson's career at United just hasn't really gone to plan. When he came back from Sheffield United, it seemed like he was going to be given an opportunity. He signed a big contract. There was talk about a potential move to Chelsea for £50 million, which United knocked back. But it didn't go to plan for him. And now he's on the move again. And Nottingham Forest, big opportunity for him if he gets it. I'm surprised there aren't other clubs in and around that are in for him. But if you look at the other clubs in the Premier League, who could possibly come in for him? Maybe Newcastle. There has been talk about that previously. But apart from that, you know, Everton seem to have settled with Pickford. Villa have Martinez, they signed recently. You know, all the other clubs in and around probably have their goalkeeper spots settled at this moment, and it's probably not a priority for them to be spending big money. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, coming up into the Premier League. He is a Premier League goalkeeper and he's got Premier League experience. It would be a good move for them. And I think it'd be a good move for Manchester United as well. You would have hoped that we could get a little bit more money for him, and maybe money up front, you know, rather than having to wait for a loan for a season and then possibly a deal at the end of it. But if it's an option to buy or a guarantee to buy, a loan to buy seems to suggest that it's a 1-year deal and then they'll buy him at the end of that. But regardless of that, to get the player moving off the books would be good for Manchester United as well. Hopefully that can start to trickle down and affect Erik ten Hag's business. But Manchester United have been very, very slow. As we know, we always are. You would have hoped we have had a deal done by now. The Frankie de Jong deal holding up Christian Eriksen, obviously mulling over his options at the minute in terms of who he's going to sign for on a free. And the other rumours that we're hearing about Anthony, that one could probably drag on a little bit. And there's other names that haven't popped up yet, I'm sure, that will eventually come to the forefront as the transfer window ticks on. But it feels like the Frankie de Jong one is holding up other bits of business. And fingers crossed Man United can get that done soon. And there's no real updates on that apart from Manchester United are in negotiations still with Barcelona. But Dean Henderson, look, I'm doing a video at the moment. I was writing some notes for it earlier about players that Manchester United could sell to raise funds this summer. He's one of them. You know, there are a few other players that United could potentially sell to raise funds, but there's not many. And Manchester United's ability to raise funds is important this summer. So, what does it say that we haven't got the money up front right now? I don't know. But £20 million eventually for him would probably be a fair deal, and he'd get a decent move out of it as well. Whether it is confirmed or not remains to be seen, and obviously we'll cover that as and when that does happen. As I said, it could have a knock-on effect for James Garner, and we do hear, the Mail have reported, Erik ten Hag has said he wants to take a look at James Garner during pre-season before making a decision about his future at United, reports Simon Jones. And then we hear James Garner could return to Nottingham Forest either on loan or on a permanent basis, says the Telegraph. Now, I feel like it's unlikely United let him go on a permanent basis, and as we've just discussed in this video, Dean Henderson going there on a loan to buy deal would mean that they can't take James Garner on loan. James Garner has been speaking about, you know, pre-season and wanting to impress the manager. We do hear Erik ten Hag wants to have a look at him in pre-season as well. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing what James Garner can do in this summer pre-season and potentially at the start of the campaign as well. Because you can get loan deals done later on in the transfer window once all of your business has been done, and once you know, you get a proper look at the player. And with Erik ten Hag coming in, his new style of football, there's going to be younger players that are going to be able to, you know, possibly grab an opportunity here. Hannibal Mejbri is another one of those that will possibly come into the mix. And we're also hearing as well, Ethan Laird is going to get an opportunity in pre-season. No firm decision has been made on Ethan Laird's future yet. Erik ten Hag will have a look at him in the first weeks of pre-season. And I suppose Erik ten Hag has to do that as well to protect himself, because he might not get the deals that he wants through the door. He might not get the signings that he wants through the door. Unfortunately, that's a hazard of working with Manchester United. And if that isn't the case, then he's going to need to bring players in to fulfil roles in a team. And younger players are a possibility to do that, especially when you look at Ethan Laird, James Garner, as we said, Hannibal Mejbri. Talented players. There's talk about Garnacho getting a new deal at Manchester United as well, a new long-term deal. We need to get his future tied down. So there are talented young players coming through that will possibly get an opportunity, but it looks like one of Manchester United's academy stars could be on the move, with Dean Henderson possibly going to Nottingham Forest with a loan to buy. £20 million would come to Manchester United, but it would be at the end of a year, a season-long loan. What do you guys think of that? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be keeping the content coming your way, so keep it locked by hitting that subscribe button. Until next time, I have been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.